Hi guys, this is Drag and Drop. Some days ago, we posted an Instagram story in which we asked you if you wanted us to make a video and explain you how to give more life, energy and room to your mix. And here we go.
Here we go!
We recommend you to use headphones to listen the difference when we turn on or off some plugins. One of the technique we use is called the New York compression or parallel compression. But what is a parallel compression? The main purpose of the New York compression is to give more power, fullness and robustness to the processed source, and is achieved by mixing an unprocessed or slightly compressed signal called dry with a heavily compressed version of the same signal called wet. Let's see how it's done. But before to do that, let us explain you some stuff regarding the compression's controls. So for example, as you can see here, we have the threshold. Compressors, like all dynamics compressor, work by measuring the incoming signal's amplitude against a user-defined reaction point where the compressor will begin to work. This reaction point is known as the compressor's threshold. Then we have here the ratio. Now we know that a compressor's threshold determines the point at which the compressor activates, but how much the signal is actually compressed is controlled by this parameter called ratio. Then we have attack and release. And if we start to talk about attack and release, we should start also to talk about transients. But we really risk this video to be 30 minutes long, and we don't want it. Long story short, I'm sure you have seen in your life a real compressor, and hardware, a rack compressor. And on the display, you see the hands moving from left to right. Well, that's the principle of attack and release, because every time a signal goes through the compressor, you will see the hand moving
to the right,
because that's the point where the compressor starts to work. And then it tries to go back. And that's the release. All that happen in between are the transients. Well, now that we explained all this bunch of stuff, let's begin. So now let's switch from arrangement mask to stems. And as you can see here, we have different instruments which we use to create this track. And let's listen to it. Without synthesizer. As you can hear, is full of details which are swimming underneath, and yeah, it's cool. Now we created already all the parameters to make a New York compression, and I would say let's listen the difference between with compression and without New York compression. That's with. Now I'm gonna deactivate the New York compression on the drums. Wow, all the power is lost. With, without. And it's the same with the instruments. And now we're going to show you how it's done. As you can see here, we already deactivated the existing New York compression just to show you how it's done from scratch. So here, right click, insert return track. And now what we do is to send to this return channel all the single drums instruments. How to do it? Very simple. We go to kick and select all the drums part. So kick, hi-hat, clap and percussion. Then we move down to the sends section and increase this parameter. So now all the single instruments are sent over here. Let's see it. As you can hear and see, here start to work. In solo, all the drum in one channel. Now what we're gonna do is to delete this channel, because as we told you, we already prepared a New York compression, but from scratch you need just to add here the right compressor. The compressor we use to create a New York compression is called Euromix Hyper Compressor, and it's very easy to find it. You just have to Google it, and in 2 seconds you're gonna have it. And as you can see here, that's all the parameters we use to make a New York compression on drums. The threshold is set by minus 30 dBs. It's a pretty heavy compression, a ratio relation 4:1, and the attack is completely increased to the right. Now there is a specific reason why the attack is turned to the right side, and we want to let you listen. Let's decrease the attack. As you can hear, the full power of the kick, it's gone. Let's increase now the attack. It's coming back. So now for us, Runabout here is a reasonable value to create a New York compression on drums. Now what we're gonna do is to go back on the return channel and to turn the volume down, because we will start now to mix softly the unprocessed signals with the processed channel over here. Let's do it. That would be a bit too much. Okay. So Runabout here we would say is acceptable mix between unprocessed and processed signal. And that's how it's done. Thank you for watching till now, and don't forget to drop a follow. Have a nice day.